Hey everyone, it's Matt, and today I've got a really exciting video for you guys. Essentially, I've been waiting for a game to release for many years, and finally, come September, October, it is finally releasing full version. And no, it is not Star Citizen, no, it is not Hytale, it's definitely not Overwatch. Why is Overwatch in here? It's not TF2. Wait, Robocraft? I haven't played Robocraft in years. Hang on a second, guys, let me sort this out.
Oh yes, and I've been waiting for many years for this game as well. Sitting silently in the wings, waiting for the game to update, to finally feature it on the channel. But alas, seeing as you're the face of the channel, heaven forbid I steal your thunder at this celebratory moment. Enjoy the confetti and fanfare, Aderon, the likes of which I never experience.
Alright, is that it? Oh, we fixed it! Yay! Oh. Well, the surprise is kind of ruined, but it's Cube World, guys! Now, some of you who know what this game is are probably like, what? Like, it's actually releasing? And yes, coming in September, October. Now, for the other half of you who are like, Matt, what is this colorful, cute, Cube World colored game that looks exactly like Minecraft, and how is it different than the billions of other Minecraft knockoffs out there? Well, I'm glad you asked, and I'll explain. To be honest though, there's really not much of a difference between Cube World and other Minecraft lookalikes. But I can promise you, after having spent many hours playing the alpha version, this game just has this undetectable but magical balance between simplicity and depth that makes it a lot of fun. In its simplest form, this is just an open world survival RPG, but set in an adorable bright-colored block-based world. It's kind of like Breath of the Wild meets Minecraft. And just like any RPG game, you select your race, your gender, your hair color, your favorite flavor of pizza, and then of course your class. And speaking of classes, you can pick 4. The Rogue, Ranger, and Warrior, the Mage, and then you're plopped into this randomly generated world with nothing more than some basic clothes and a dollar store weapon to your name. At this point, you never got to choose where your drop point was, and you are almost always guaranteed to have your story begin in the middle of nowhere called the lands of Azerbaijan or some other impronounceable name. And you are now left with a handful of items, 2 abilities, 1 weapon, and absolutely 0 sense of what you're supposed to do. In fact, it's a glorious achievement when you dig through the non-existent control menu and just happen to stumble upon the M key, which finally opens up your map. And alas, you find your first glimmer of an objective. Now, if you're lucky, and that's a big if, you should be able to find one of the only 2 icons that exist on the map, a town or a dungeon. That's it. Your best hope is to find civilization, so you can finally buy some health potions to replace the ones that you're going to chug through in your first 5 enemy encounters, and then also a blacksmith to finally trade in your nerf sword for something that will actually break skin. Come to think of it, it's probably a good thing that you started off in the middle of nowhere, because considering the fact that your wallet has straight up 0 coins in it, if you had spawned in a town, you really would have ended up frustrated because you couldn't have bought anything, or you would have just ended up roaming the streets as a beggar, looking around for people to give you coins. So, seeing that life has now given you cube-shaped lemons, it's best that you make some lemonade. With an umbrella. Because you're not just a vagabond, you're a fancy vagabond. So you now set your sights on the village ahead, and you begin your journey fighting ironically powerful floofy critters as well as demon-spawned squirrels and raccoons. Ironically though, this is where the climax of the story occurs. This little trek, from your spawn point to the village, is a journey of 1,000 steps, and it is often the critical point where players decide their fate. Is this adorable block game worth your time and effort in achieving ultimate, self-imbued glory and becoming ruler over your local one-player world? Or is it just another cute and colorful way of wasting time? The question is real, and I ask it seriously. Because once you reach that village and buy a few items and start crafting, leveling up 1 XP at a time, conquering dungeons, learning new skills, leveling up some more, acquiring new gear, recruiting random passerbys to become live bait, allies in fighting wandering bosses, that's it. There's no main storyline yet. There's no complex quests or plot. That's all there is. So I leave it up to you, in your quest of random wanderings, to determine if this game, which has been in development for the last 6 years, but you've probably only learned about it in the last 5 minutes, if the game is really, truly worth it. I leave it up to you, and it's an important question to answer. Oh, but did I also mention that you can tame almost any mob in the game and you can ride them?
Shut up and take my money!
I'm serious, you can take these mobs and you can have them as pets. You can ride them, they can fight for you, it's really cool. That's like the best feature of Cube World. Now, besides that, I will be playing this game mostly for nostalgia's sake. This was a game that I grew up following, and it's a game that I played with my siblings for a long time. So even if the game seems completely simpleton and nuanced, I will still play it, because I find it really fun. The game is set to release somewhere around September, October. We don't have an official date yet. It will be released on Steam. We don't know for how much, but I am really excited to be able to play both single player and multiplayer. So between now and the time that it actually releases, I'll be releasing some videos not only to cover the history of the game and its development, but then also some of the new features, so I can show you what Alpha was like back in the old days of when it was in its infancy, and then also the new features that are coming in the full release, because it is almost a whole new game with all the new features that are coming. So stay tuned, we're gonna do more. In the meantime, stay cubey. That's a terrible way to outro. See you guys. Have a good one. I'll catch you later.